one of the major forces behind getting us here today. I would like to invite to the stage to make some comments. Mr. Michael Casserly is currently the executive director of the Council of the Great City Schools, but he has been and was the initial compelling and tenacious guiding force that brought TUDA to life. Once a thorn in some sides, now a founding father. That is what happens if you remain that committed. Mr. Casserly.
Thank you very much, Tanya. I can't swear that I'm not still a thorn in a lot of people's sides. So good afternoon. I'm Michael Casserly, the Executive Director of the Council of the Great City Schools. I want to thank you very much for your interest in these very important results. Before I start, I want to thank Bill Bouchard and his great team at the National Assessment Governing Board, and Lynn Woodworth and Peggy Carr, and their terrific group at the National Center for Educational Statistics. We owe you a debt of gratitude for your dedication and expertise. Thank you. These new results constitute the 9th time since 2002 that we have taken voluntarily the National Assessment of Educational Progress as a coalition of urban school districts. And we are pleased that we have a record 27 urban school districts that volunteered for NAEP this time around. Our long-term progress as urban schools has been crystal clear over those many years. Between 2002 and 2017, large city schools have improved their 4th grade reading performance on NAEP by 11 scale score points and narrowed the gap between our schools and the national public sample by 48.3%. At the 8th grade level, our reading scores on NAEP have improved nearly 8 points since 2002, and we have narrowed the gap with the national public sample by about 41%. In math, we have gained 7.5 scale score points in the 4th grade between 2003 and 2017, and we narrowed the gap with the national public sample by 24%. And at the 8th grade level in math, we have gained 12 points and narrowed the gap with the national public sample by 45.8%. In all, our gains as urban schools have been significantly faster than the national public sample, as you heard from Peggy Carr, over the last 15 years or so. And the long-term progress is evident however one looks at the data. Over the years, we have made progress raising average scale scores. We have made progress increasing the percentage of students scoring at or above proficient. We have made progress increasing the percentage of students scoring at or above basic achievement levels. We have decreased the percentage of urban school students scoring below basic levels, and we have made significant headway in our scores amongst African American and Hispanic students over the years, although we know that much more is needed. Our gains as an urban school group are statistically significant and educationally significant and maybe politically significant as well. In all, tens of thousands of our 4th and 8th graders score better now than when we first started this process many years ago. That said, if you look solely at any 2-year testing cycle, the results are sometimes less conclusive, and they often lead observers to assert that urban schools are not making any progress. But if you stand back from the individual trees, you will see a forest that is growing taller and getting stronger. Several of the individual trees, however, deserve special recognition for improving not only faster than the nation over the long term, but faster than even the urban average. These faster improving urban school districts over the long run have included Atlanta, Boston, Chicago, the District of Columbia, Los Angeles, Miami-Dade County, and San Diego. In addition, I should point out that several cities have scores that are now comparable to or above national public averages in at least one subject or grade, including Austin, Boston, Charlotte-Mecklenburg, Duval County, Guilford County, Hillsborough County, Tampa, Louisville County, Jefferson County, Louisville, Miami-Dade County, and San Diego. The Council of the Great City Schools is looking at all of these districts to help us better understand the practices driving these results. In general, the nation's largest cities have devoted substantial energy over the last 15 years to improving the quality of our instructional programs and the rigor of our academic standards. Remember that we started this initiative to help us in 3 ways. One, we as urban school systems wanted to demonstrate that we were fully committed to the highest academic standards for our urban children. 2, we wanted to be able to compare ourselves with those that share many of the same challenges and serve similar populations of students who are disproportionately poor, likely to have faced discrimination, are English learners, and students with disabilities. Finally, we wanted a way to gauge our progress and evaluate our reforms in ways that the current 50-state assessment system does not allow. Overall, the latest NAEP results show that progress across the national public sample appears, however, to have leveled off or declined since 2013, 2 testing cycles ago, for reasons that are not entirely clear. 2 districts reflect this nationwide pattern with results that have not changed significantly since 2015, except in 4th grade math. In 4th grade math, our scores actually declined. This is the first significant decline in any subject or grade since the large cities began participating in the nation's report card in 2002. Results nationwide, as Peggy described this morning, suggest that students at the top end of the performance scale have improved, while those towards the bottom have slipped. This pattern is also true in the cities, with one key exception. Those cities that did make significant progress since 2015, cities like Miami-Dade County, San Diego, Fresno, Duval County, did not see the decline amongst their lowest performing students that others across the nation saw. So, they were able to defy national trends on 2 fronts, by raising scores overall and maintaining scores amongst their most vulnerable students. We need to better understand how those districts did it, and some of those are with us today. In addition, we went back and looked at the PARCC and Smarter Balance scores for many of the cities that showed declines on NAEP, particularly in 4th grade math, where we did show a decline across the coalition. In each of these cases, the city school districts held steady or showed gains on PARCC or Smarter Balance, not a decline, as NAEP shows. This suggests to us that we may not be looking at a performance problem on NAEP in 4th grade math. Instead, we hypothesize that we may be seeing an alignment problem between what NAEP tests, particularly in 4th grade math, and the instructional focus and sequencing of the college and career readiness standards. Good examples of this mismatch are found in Albuquerque, Baltimore, Detroit, the District of Columbia, and Los Angeles, amongst others. Additional evidence for this possible misalignment is found by looking at the 2015 NAEP validity study and patterns in the data for particular topic areas within mathematics, especially data analysis and geometry. We respectfully request that the National Assessment Governing Board and NCES work with us and others to better understand the new results and determine what might be done to avoid the public's misinterpreting trends in the data going forward. We don't want to conclude that we are stagnating when in fact we are making headway. And we don't want to conclude that our reform efforts are not working when they are. The stakes are too high to get this wrong. We would also discourage widespread speculation about the nature of the results until there is more opportunity to study the data and to understand the dynamic underneath them. We know we need to accelerate the pace of reform and improvement in our urban schools, and we know that our achievement gaps are still too wide. But these NAEP data give us the tools that we need to ask hard questions about our instructional practices and where we need to improve. And the results are giving us even greater confidence that urban education in this nation can be substantially improved. And that's the point behind all of the numbers. It is why we volunteered in the first place, so we could tell what was working and what wasn't, so we could raise the quality of public education in our great cities, so we could give all of our kids a shot at what America has to offer. We have a long way to go, but stagnation in urban public education has ended and has been replaced by progress. I'm very proud of the work that our cities have done over these years, and I'm profoundly optimistic about the additional progress that I know lies in front of us. Thank you. I'd be happy to take maybe one question or so before I turn it over the mic. So,